premises which are revealed. And then you use rational techniques like reasoning, human reasoning, to drive conclusions. So he's saying that's his scholastic theology. But what is so that would be part of a religious discipline anyway, because even accepting premise, you are actually using some sort of reasoning to at least understand them. Otherwise, how would you accept them? And then you reasoning to conclusion. So premises, reasoning, that's the reasoning you already use here, and conclusion. So there's nothing philosophical here at all. We use the same pattern in all religious disciplines. For example, in our tradition, in fiqh, for example, or tafsir, in any thing. So I don't understand why any of this would have anything to do with philosophy. And if it doesn't have anything to do with philosophy, then why we are comparing scholastic theology to philosophy in the first place? So that's my question here. And there is something good in going back, because we didn't discuss any of these things, or at least most of these things, in the previous reading of the same passage. Okay, so okay, let's go back. Okay, so the theologian, on the other hand, although he certainly uses his reason, except his principle on theology, on faith, he received them as revealed. The introduction of dialectic, that is logic into theology, the practice of starting from a revealed premise or from revealed premises and arguing rationally to a conclusion, leads to the development of scholastic theology. Yeah, I don't get this. But it doesn't turn philosophy into, since the principle or data are accepted as revealed. So if that's scholastic theology, then it has nothing to do with philosophy at all. And if it doesn't have any resemblance with philosophy, why we are comparing it to philosophy? Probably because of the subject matter, I guess. Subject matter in the sense that in theology you talk about God, and philosophers also talk about God. Philosophers study theology, they call it first philosophy. For example, Aristotle, purely on his own. I mean, he claims that is through reason, but how much he was influenced by his milieu, his teachers, his instincts, and maybe, he was receiving some hidden revelation for someone too. Who knows? But at least he didn't claim that. So we call it theology, but a scholastic theology is basically a systematization of the religious belief system in this understanding. So in that way, that would be a bit different from Ilm al-Kalam. Not bit, a lot different, because Ilm al-Kalam has clear resemblance to philosophy, because a mutakallim, at least as Ghazali says, and I have 3 other session videos if you want to have a look on Ghazali's conception of Ilm al-Kalam. And I know at least Ghazali and Razi have the similar sort of opinion. And mutakallim, before proving the existence of God, he can't rely on any revealed sources at all. So he first, when he a mutakallim, the first duty of mutakallim, according as per Ghazali and vast majority of Ashaira, at least, they say that later the Ashaira anyway, including Imam Razi, they said that before you prove the existence of God, and before you prove that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his prophet, you can't use any of the revealed premises in your argumentation, because otherwise you will commit the fallacy of circular reasoning. But this, so in that sense, scholastic theology doesn't seem to be that at all. Okay, anyway, I think I have learnt a bit today, so hopefully you did too.